All right, thanks, guys. I just want to quickly congratulate all of my Patreon members yesterday for going 4-3 yesterday in my premium picks on that website. We're also hitting at 4-2-1 in our last 7 NFL package picks on that site. And of course, the link for that website is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/rockpage. All right, West Virginia takes on Ohio State this afternoon, and as a matter of fact, that is a 12 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that contest there. Now, the Buckeyes are the 6.5-point favorite, total at 136 and a hook. We did see a 1-point fade of Ohio State and movement downward on the total. The Buckeyes opened 7.5 down to -6.5. Total open 137 down to 136 and a hook. 69% of the consensus are leaning toward Ohio State. 68% shaded toward the under. The Buckeyes are 9-1 straight up in their last 10. And out of those 10 ball games, they successfully covered the point spread in 9 of them. That's good for 90% against the spread in their last 10. They have marquee straight up victories against the likes of Kentucky, Penn State, and Villanova. They rank in the top 20 in offensive field goal percentage, top 10 in offensive three-point percentage in the country. They are a perfect 9-0 straight up at home this year, and they're allowing just 57 points per contest. Caleb Wesson, 14 points a game, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. Dwayne Washington, 11 points a game, 3 rebounds. And DJ Carton, 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists on average for him. This Ohio State squad ranks in the top 10 in points allowed in the country. They're also in the top 5 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, West Virginia, they've successfully covered the point spread in just 2 out of their last 5 games. And as far as the season goes, they failed to cover against the likes of Youngstown State and Northern Colorado. Now, West Virginia is 4-0 to the under in their last 4, 80% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, 6 out of Ohio State's last 9 home games did stay under the total. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Ohio State -6.5 and the under 136.5 in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Kansas taking on Stanford, and that'll be a 3 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. The Jayhawks are the 6.5-point favorite away from home, total at 136. Now, we did see a 0.5-point fade of Kansas and movement upward on the total. The Jayhawks open 7 down to -6.5. Total open 135 up to 136. 67% are leaning Kansas, 60% shaded toward the under. Stanford is 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. They're also undefeated at home this year, 8-0 straight up as the official home team. They rank in the top 10 in offensive field goal percentage. Oscar Da Silva, 18 points a game, 6 rebounds. He's also shooting 84% from the stripe. Tyrell Terry, 16 points a game, 5 rebounds for him. And Spencer Jones, 10 points a game, 4 rebounds on average for Spencer. Now, Stanford ranks in the top 15 in the nation in points allowed, and their opponents are shooting just 38% from the field against them. Now, Kansas on the other side, 2-3 against the spread away from home. They failed to cover against the likes of Chaminade, Eastern Tennessee, and UNC Greensboro this year. Kansas, 60% to the under in their last 10. Stanford, 7-1 to the under in their last 8 themselves. I'm going to lean Stanford Cardinal +6.5 and the under 136 in that contest. Next game, Arkansas taking on Indy. And that's not on our big screen in the back. But anyway, Arkansas taking on Indiana. 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. The Hoosiers are the 5-point favorite, total at 140. We saw a 0.5-point move toward Indy and movement downward on the total. Indiana opened 4.5 up to -5. Total open 140.5 down to 140. 69% are leaning Hoosiers, 59% shaded toward the under. Indiana is 11-1 straight up on the year, 6-3 against the spread at home. They rank in the top 35 in the country in scoring, top 25 in offensive field goal percentage. Trace Jackson Davis, 15 points a game, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. Justin Smith, 13 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. And Al Durham, 12 points a game. He is averaging for Indiana. The Hoosiers rank in the top 10 in defensive rebounding. Now, Arkansas on the other side, they failed to cover the point spread in 5 out of their last 6. They failed to cover against the likes of Valparaiso, Western Kentucky, Austin Peay, and Northern Kentucky this year. And this Arkansas squad, they are 2-1 to the over in their last 3. Indy 7-2 to the over at home. I'm going to lean Hoosiers -5 in the over 140 in that game. Now, before we go ahead and move on, I just want to take another quick timeout and just welcome you to the show. I got some lines of personal leans out here for you for Sunday's college basketball action. But before we dive into a couple more free lines of personal leans right here on YouTube, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we went 4-3 yesterday in our premium picks on that website. We're also at 4-2-1 in our last 7 NFL package picks on that site as well. We do daily premium picks on that website beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. You can check out my current record for free right on the homepage. Link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, couple more games to go through real quick, so let's go ahead and get into them. Our next matchup is Harvard taking on the Cal Golden Bears, 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Now, Harvard, they are the 3.5-point favorite on the road, total at 134. We saw a half-a-point move toward Harvard and movement downward on the total. They opened up as the 3-point favorite, up to -3.5. Total opened 134.5, down to 134 even. 69% are leaning Cal Golden Bears, 81% shaded toward the under. Cal, 6-1 straight up at home this year. They rank in the top 25 in the country in 3-point percentage. Meanwhile, Harvard on the other side, they failed to cover in 2 out of their last 4. As far as the season goes, they failed to cover against the likes of Howard, Holy Cross, and Siena. Now, Harvard, 60% to the over in their last 5. Meanwhile, 6 out of Cal's last 7 at home did get over the number. I'm going to purchase the half a point in this spot here, buy it up, and lean Cal +4 in the over, 134 in that contest. Next game, Tulsa taking on Kansas State, 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Kansas State is -7, total at 127.5. We saw a half-point move toward K-State and movement upward on the total. They opened 6.5 up to -7. Total open 126.5 up to 127 and a hook. 63% are leaning K-State, 55% shaded toward the over. And right now, Tulsa is +250 on the money line. I like Tulsa in this spot here, catching points. I'm going to lean Tulsa +7 in the under 127.5 in that game. All right, next and final matchup of the show, it is going to be Richmond taking on Alabama. 6:30 Eastern tip-off in that contest. The Crimson Tide are the 6.5-point favorite, total at 153 and a hook. We saw a 1-point move toward Bama and movement downward on the total. The Crimson Tide opened 5.5 up to -6.5. Total open 155 down to 153 and a hook. 55% are leaning Alabama, 87% shaded toward the under. I am going to agree with the public on the total, but I'm going to fade them when it comes to the side here. I'm going to go ahead and lean Richmond +6.5 away from home and the under 153 and a hook in that game. All right, let's go ahead and slide into our quick pick recap. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we went 4-3 in our premium picks on that website yesterday. I like Richmond +6.5 under 153 and a hook. Tulsa +7 under 127.5. Cal Golden Bears +4 over 134. Indiana -5 over 140. Stanford Cardinal +6.5 under 136. And last but certainly not least, I like Ohio State -6.5 and the under 136.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 4-2-1 in our last 7 NFL package plays on that site. Shout out to Crazy Zooter, Mary Pierce, Anthony Owusu, Aunt Rod, Mount Shanko, Stephen Lewis, Danny J, Sean O'Neill, Blacks Blazer, Tell Frederick, Vernon Williard, Aaron McLemore, Roger Wellington, Joe Me the Money, Sonny Llanos, Naga in Cambodia, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Modelo Time Fool. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we went 4-3 in our premium picks on that website yesterday. We're also hitting at 4-2-1 in our last 7 NFL package picks on that site. We do daily premium picks on that site beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Link for that site is in the description section below. You can check out my current record for free right there on the homepage. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on patreon.com/BrockPage.